Have you ever wanted your own TV show? Have you dreamed of showcasing your talent for the world to see? Well, now you can. Have your own TV show. You can have your own 30-minute show. Not only will you be seen in the Detroit area, but you can be viewed worldwide. Be seen on WHPR Detroit Live, Comcast Cable Channel 91, on the web at TV33WHPR.com, with the TV33 app, on Roku, Google TV, Apple TV, and on Amazon Fire TV. Act now. Time slots are limited. Sign up today and get a free replay with the purchase of your time slot. For more information, call 313-868-6612. Visit our studios and receive a free TV interview to promote your business, church, or organization by appointment only.
You wouldn't have to go anywhere because this is the Talk Beat Jones and This is the Talk Beat Jones, and I am Billy E. Jones. I want to thank you for joining us today. And remember, family, we want you to share. We want you to like this program today. Of course, before I start anything, I saw the Isley brother. The brother was rocking that gray beard. What's his name? Ronald Isley? Ronald Isley was rocking that gray beard. But they were saying, keep your grandmother's head. Because Ronald Isley is doing it. Family, this is again the Talk Beat Jones. Again, remember, every Wednesday we do the program live here out of the Watkins Broadcasting Studio, Highland Park, Detroit. And again, it's such a wonderful, wonderful time to be able to come and talk to you and explain that we love you and that we want you to talk to the world. We want you to be able to say the things that's important to you. We want you, family, to know that your words are important. The expressions that you make, the feelings that you have about the things that's going on in your block, your city, your state, your country, and also the other parts of the world. So remember, family, it is the Talk Beat Jones that is on the air it's live every Wednesday from 10 to 11. Tell your friends about it. And they say, well, we don't know how to get it. Well, let me tell you. Comcast Cable has over 700,000 households. Roku, R-O-K-U, Roku. Some people spell it R-U-K-U, Roku. You know what I'm talking about? The Roku has over 8 million viewers. The different apps, TV, PC, PDA, smartphones, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, Google. The UHF station here, 15.2, and also cable channel 90. So family, we're saying wherever you are, if you have a friend, they can be our friend as well. All they've got to do is tune in, especially on a Wednesday from 10 to 11. Now we have some wonderful, great programs. And again, I'm like basketball, baseball, football. Everybody has a team. But remember, every team plays for itself because there's only one trophy. However, in what we do on television, what is the trophy? The trophy is you, the family. To get that good information, to make it information that you can listen to, but have it entertaining. Not dry, not just the facts like Sergeant Joe Friday used to do, just the facts, ma'am. No, we're not looking for that, but we will keep it lifted and keep you informed, but entertaining. That's what we do here on the Talk Beat Jones. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. And again, family, once again, tell your friends, please like and share. Now, here's the purpose of what we talk about. We have folks around the world that are listening to this program. as I spoke about before. And they're saying, we want to know how to speak English. We want to know how to speak a conversational English. We want to know how folks think. We want to understand. So this is, in some folks' parts of the world, this is their classroom. This is their time to learn how we do it here in America on this black station, WHPR, WHPS, out of Highland Park, Detroit, Michigan. Once again, this is the Talk Beat Jones, and I am Billy E. Jones. And once again, I want to thank you for joining us today. And again, family, we want you to make sure that you share and like the program. As again, we go all around the world inviting you to talk and share that information. And again, let's do it this way. We have a caller. Let's find out who we have on the line with us first. You're live. This is Talk Beat Jones, and who am I speaking with, please?
Happy Wednesday. This is Michelle Broten in Detroit, Michigan.
Ooh, thank you so very much. And when I come back, I'm going to ask you to start off with what's on your mind or what you're thinking that we should start off thinking today, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Michelle, let me try this again. Boom, boom. Talk to me. Michelle?
Yes, this is Michelle.
Okay, you're locked in. Thank you.
Okay.
And this caller, can I get your first name and your conversation, please? Your first name and where you're calling from.
My first name is Leo, and I'm calling from Oakland, California.
Okay, Leo, when you spoke that last little bit, you got louder, and I could hear you a little bit better. And because of the broadcast, Leo, I understand you're at home, and you can hear yourself quite well. But we need, so when I'm asking you to talk a little louder, it's not that we can't hear you per se. It's that I'm trying to make it so that people who can't hear that well can hear you as well. Because remember, this is a talk program, and if people can't hear you talk, then they're missing the essence of the program. I'll be back with you shortly, okay? Oh, by the way,
you hear me?
yeah,
Can you hear me now?
that's excellent. Wherever you are, please do not move. And by the way, family, I want you to know that this is Mr. Leo Bazil, and I want to thank you, Mr. Leo Bazil, because Mr. Leo Bazil, it gets up at almost 6:30 in the mornings on Wednesdays. And he is 77 years of age. He is retired, and he is a Black Panther, city council person, activist, lawyer, TV host, and more. And he's 77 years of age, so I really appreciate you getting up and handling the business for us early in the morning, Mr. Leo Bazil. Hold on, please. Thank you, sir. Michelle?
Yes.
Let's start off with you this morning, and before we do this, family, are we aware that I'll take care of this with Leo? Michelle?
Yes.
Tell me what's on your mind. Tell me what we should be first off thinking about all around the world, especially in Detroit and Highland Park.
Well, in Detroit and Highland Park, we are now trying to get the schools back open. They are offering the vaccination shots for 16 years old and up. And next week, they will be going into the high schools, available, I guess, with the parents' permission to offer the Johnson & Johnson, the one shot for the students, so we can return and open the schools up as quickly as possible in Detroit, Michigan.
Oh, give me the one shot. But I'll take.
Yes.
But right now, I'll take any shot I can get.
That's right. And also in April is the Financial Awareness Month, and that is for people to listen for more information coming how to get your credit scores up and how to become financially independent.
Okay. How to get your credit scores up and how to be financially independent. Now, going back to the children once again, what is the aspect for our children to have to be in class at this time? You spoke of when would this be?
Well, they're hoping for the last semester. Right now, the push is to get everybody, as many people as possible, vaccinated. So they reported, so I'm not a doctor or the news person, but as we read media and whatever's available, 80% of your teachers have now become vaccinated, and now they're going to start with the students so that when we are back in the school, everybody feels safe.
Now, from a parent and a grandparent perspective, what is your thinking about them now being able to vaccinate shot in arms to the younger children, 8 and under, potentially? They're talking about doing
8 and under.
young kids, but excuse me, Miss Eastside, I'm sorry, younger children. What I'm speaking of, they're talking now that they may be able to roll out vaccinate younger children because they're finding that now we're having problems with the younger generation, younger children coming down with this virus.
Correct. So anything that keeps us safe and alive is good news.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that they keep the data and the information always coming forward, always educating families and moms and dads to make sure that everybody can go to work, can go to school, and come home safely the same way they left when they left out that front door that morning.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Hold on, please, just a moment. You're still good. I mean, I got you on conference, okay?
Gotcha.
All right. Mr. Leo Basile,
Yes, sir.
give me what is the aspect in term outlook for you in terms of sharing information to the world today, especially coming out of Oakland, California?
Well, life and death is always the most important thing. So survival of this virus is what we're confronted with, the same as you are in Michigan. And Ms. Broughton has laid it out.
Excellent.
In terms of where we're all coming from. We're trying to get our kids back in school because the data is coming in a first instance in this situation. And so we have nothing to draw upon except what data we can collect. And the data seems to be highlighting that the service industries are the ones that's most hurt by the economy. And the service industry seem to be dovetailing into the fact that many of the service workers that need to be going back to work have child problems of taking care of their children, and so they're at home. So if we can release the children to the schools, we can release the parents back to work in the service industries. And we now know that if we mask up and get those vaccinations, that the chance of catching this disease to the point that you die is going to be lessened. And so people are able to get back into certain capacities and certain jobs. And so we're trying to get those children back in school and those parents free to go back to work and bring down the unemployment. And then the dovetail again with the data is showing us that it is women that is being hit the hardest. And there again, it dovetails into the service industries because many of the service occupations are occupied by women, such as waitresses and nurses and people like this. So we need to get the service industries back up in the economy, and so we have to focus on those populations in those industries.
Okay. Thank you. Speaking of industries, let's get hot and heavy real quick. You have a situation going on in California with your governor. Your governor was a governor that was taking on Donald Trump, and your governor was saying that the opinion was that your governor was doing a good job. Now we're hearing that the condition of the governor of California is that he is on a recall list. Do you know something about that, Mr. Leo Basile?
Yes, I do.
Can you break that down a little bit, please? Just not too long, but can you help us understand why they want to take Gavin Newsom out, the governor?
It's a side issue.
Tim.
It's not one that's relevant to what we're doing right now, but we cannot ignore it because recalls are always dangerous.
Oh.
As you know, California is an initiative state, so anybody that can get enough signatures,
go ahead.
They can get most anything on the ballot. So the Republican Party, which is almost extinct in this state now, has nothing to do but to try to attack in the best way they can. And so they're using the initiative process to attack the governor over dissatisfaction about this whole COVID thing. It's not going anywhere. We can't take it for granted that it's not going to win. That's why we're going to be seriously attacking it. But it is a minority thing that the Republicans have put together, and you can get anything on the ballot in California if you get enough signatures. And you now know that we can hire firms that will go out and get the requisite number of signatures from off anything. So they've qualified it for the ballot, but we're going to smash it in November, no problem.
So this conversation about the fact that California has almost, they have over 2 million signatures talking about the recall.
You could get 2 million. You could get 2 million signatures to shut down Disneyland. I mean, or to buy Dove soap. You know, that's no problem. There's 40 million people in California, man. 2 million people. You can get for anything. You know, they could get 2 million fools to attack the capital of the United States.
Well, we're going to come back with that in just a moment. I want you to think about the Jenner person that we're going to talk about with California. Just a question. Let me, family, I've got to be careful. This is Mr. Leo Bazile, and if I don't do it right, he'll jump me. So let me do it the right way. Mr. Leo Bazile, staying with California. Family, listen to this. This is California. We're talking about the transition potentially of California to governorship, getting kind of out there. So family, this is getting out there. Here we go, Leo. They're now talking about the guy that used to be Jenner, Bruce Jenner, who is now a lady, is talking about potentially wanting to run for governor. I know you don't follow that social scene. What do you think?
Well, again, you know, like we said last time about Cardi B, in politics, name recognition is very important.
Okay.
And people will go out and vote for something if they recognize the name. So his name is very famous because he was a male and now she's a female and athlete, and so
and he was the greatest athlete. He was doing his time, doing all those different events that made him the greatest athlete.
Marathon.
That was the greatest athlete.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So he has plenty of name recognition. And if you remember when they had the last recall that was successful, they got Gray Davis when Gray Davis hadn't done anything wrong, but they got the signatures and they got it on the ballot. And then name recognition propelled Arnold Schwarzenegger with 15% of the vote into the runoff against Gray Davis. I mean, and Gray Davis lost.
He
because
smashed.
Arnold Schwarzenegger was the name recognition movie star.
And did he do a good job?
No.
Okay, that's out. We can stop right there. Okay. Michelle, what is your thoughts?
I was listening, and I do agree with Mr. Bazile that if you have name recognition, they don't care what your background is, meaning that you didn't prepare yourself to become a leader, to have the knowledge to run a country or a state or a city or a county. And that's that. Again, that's why I keep telling the people, do your research.
That's right.
People have good intentions, but sometimes if they're not prepared, that might not be the right spot for them at that time.
Let's go into Mr. Leo Bazile. And family, you can join us. We have a line that's open, and that line is 313-868-0351. And you can always come in and you can bring your subject or any conversation or questions that you may have on the Talk B. Jones too. And you can call anywhere in around the world, family. Remember, you don't have to be sitting back in Sudan and not call. You don't have to sit back in another country and not call. If you can pick this station up and you see those numbers anywhere in the world, anywhere, you can call 313-868-0351, and you can change the topic and turn it all upside down and make it exactly what you want to talk about for a little while. So that's for you. Go right here, Leo. Michelle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So what I was asking now is that we have the situation going on there, and we've seen what Arnold Schwarzenegger did to California. The first thing he did was talk about the little girly men. Remember that, Leo?
Yes.
And he went on, but the idea that a person can just have a great name for for whatever the reason, that they can become the leader and and dictate policies.
Yes.
You know, I mean, it's getting kind of really amazing to me.
Well, it wasn't so amazing in the case of Gray Davis. Gray hadn't done anything wrong, but we had a crisis. And if you remember, the crisis was about the energy, and we couldn't get enough PG&E and the other kinds of things in the state. And they said it was because of regulation and all these other kinds of things. And it turns out, the truth was, we found out later, is those boys down in Texas, remember, was manipulating the energy flows from other places into California and causing this problem. And it wasn't Gray Davis's problem, and it wasn't something that he did, but it pissed people off enough to be angry. And when they got angry, who were you going to be angry with? The leader. And so he was the leader, and Schwarzenegger had the name recognition. He took advantage of the situation and got himself elected.
And Gray Davis took the election to be the governor from Bradley. You remember Bradley?
No.
The mayor of Los Angeles.
No, that was George Duke Machen.
That's who?
George Duke Machen. Bradley wasn't had it with Gray Davis.
Okay, let me do it this way. If I'm not mistaken, I do believe, who was the person that Bradley was running for governor of California? Who was he running against?
George Duke Machen. George Duke Machen, two-time Republican governor after Pete Wilson.
Got it. And did the folks in California talk about the fact that that Tom Bradley looks like he could be the first black governor of California?
Yeah, he had a 7% lead a week before the election in the polls.
And if my mind is correct, I do believe all of the magazines, all of the newspapers, reports, news and shows, etc., was always speaking about the fact that if you don't come out to vote, that you're going to have the first black governor. All of this was going out to all of the rural towns of all rural settings in California.
No.
Explain how it happened.
How it happened was Tom Bradley had run as a neutral, like Barack Obama, didn't mention race, had been the 4-time mayor of Los Angeles, and most people didn't really know he was black. Because, again, we got 40 million people in this state, so only about 5 or 6 million people may be politically astute to know everything. Everybody else is going about their life.
Okay, explain.
So Duke Machen, when running against Bradley, mentioned his campaign manager a week before the election mentioned that Tom Bradley was black.
Okay.
And so Duke Machen then fired his campaign manager a week before the election. So what do you think that did? It put it in all of the newspapers, on all of the televisions and everything, and people woke up and said, "Oh, wow, I didn't know Tom Bradley was black."
Oh.
And that 7-point lead that he had in the polls dissipated, and he lost the election by about 3 points a week later.
Michelle, you have anything to say?
That's typical. That's what happens. I've seen that happen.
I have this question, though, for the world, and even for my Detroit Highland Park folks. Isn't it amazing that you could have a black man be the mayor of Los Angeles,
the largest city in the nation,
and folks didn't even know that he was black? How was that, Leo?
Because there's 40 million people in California. All the people in Los Angeles knew Tom Bradley was black, but they didn't care. The man was competent. He was from there. He had been a city councilman and everything else. And he did not emphasize blackness. And that's what the things that that especially the Jewish people down there appreciated for Tom is that he didn't emphasize the black thing. He was like Barack Obama. Obama didn't emphasize black, and he's being criticized for that to this day. But you cannot stand up and be black in America. America is a racist nation, and they do not appreciate anybody that's pro-black because they think it's anti-white.
Yeah, that's true.
I'll take your conversation, Michelle.
That's absolutely true. That's so true. In Detroit, Michigan, let's see, I believe she's a congresswoman now. She took over the district that John Conyers was over. Tlaib.
Ali.
And yes, and she kept flip-flopping from what she wanted us to perceive her to be, black, half black, not black, till she's finally Arab American. And we had another congressman that did the same. He was black, he wasn't black, he was Spanish, he wasn't Spanish. And I'm like, can you just run on issues? Because you're confused. I'm not confused. I know what I see. But I see that quite a bit.
Okay. Sir, Mr. Bazile?
Yes, sir.
When we're watching folks running on names, you say in Oakland, California, doesn't work as well, name recognition?
No, because we're highly political here in Oakland and in the Bay Area. The Bay Area is a very progressive area, probably the most progressive area in the country. We've got Barbara Lee and Nancy Pelosi, and all these are our elected officials. We don't have a Republican holding any office, state or anything local in the Bay Area. We have wiped them out and pushed them clearly into the suburbs. And the only county in California that used to be heavily Republican, which was Orange County down in Southern California, even the Republicans down there are tired of the nonsense because California is a very, very vocal state, and citizen participation is highly touted in this state. And so people know and understand who their elected officials are in the Bay Area. And so we don't go for the okie doke. You got to come with program. Name recognition is just put your foot in the door. That's all.
Got it. Michelle, is name recognition important in Detroit, Highland Park?
Yes, that's exactly and mostly all that they run on is name recognition. Because not sure how it developed that way, but if you used to be a Conyers, a Ford, they automatically, it goes from daddy to son, the Smiths, Virgil Smith went from daddy to son, Virgil ran for state rep, and the father was stepping down, but nobody knew they were voting for the young son.
So
they just went on name.
But isn't that the way? I understand that they did the yard signs and stuff, and if a parent or whatever had ran before, they just put that yard sign out for the younger person to run with.
Yes, Starworth, all the names, and if you have one of those names, you can just slide in the seat because the people here rely on name recognition versus relying on doing their research. And then I think in Detroit in particular, back in the 60s and the 70s, I'm going to speak of the 80s, not so much now, the unions dictated what you or whom you had to support and vote for. And UAW was big, the teachers unions were big, ACLU big, all of them. And they would tell the people, this is what you have to do, and the people didn't do the research.
And folks
and then you look and you say, why you keep voting for that same person? They're not helping us.
And folks who are listening should understand from out of state, out of the country, out of the other parts of the world, we're talking about, when they say back in the day, this city of Detroit, Michigan, formerly held over 1 million folk. This one city, Detroit, held over 1 million folk. So when we're talking about things that is being done at one city or another city, and they say, well, why is that not happening in Detroit or somewhere else? if you have a city that has 100, 200, 300,000 folks, it is easier for you to implement various different policies, various different situations, as opposed to even now that we shrunk down to less than 800,000 folk. It is more difficult to implement these situations. Michelle, how is it that we see the COVID vaccine rollout? How is it coming along with Detroit at this point now?
With Detroit at this point, pretty good. Nurses are reporting that, say, a couple of weeks back, they might have had 1,000 people come in. Then 2 weeks later, it's 3,000. Now they're up to 5,000. So people are becoming aware that this is a great need. They're becoming educated, informed, and they are going to get shots in the arms. So it's increasing. And every day in Detroit, Michigan, there are messaging. It's on Facebook or whatever format that you can reach within this area, giving people more information on why they need to get vaccinated. So on a TV show, a news show here that's supposedly popular, all of the news anchors are showing pictures or actual footage of them getting vaccinated, which would encourage everyone. And yesterday, just really quick, the governor took her daughters, but I was waiting to hear, did the governor take her husband to get a shot? But anyway.
Well, anyway, we've seen, okay.
Yeah, it's funny. You know the mentality of a white man, a masculine. So I said, okay.
I think that is interesting. Leo, what do you think about that? The governor brought her daughter or daughters, and she and the daughters took the shot, and no husband.
No husband.
Leo?
Well, you mean the husband refused to take the shot?
I don't. He did not. But let's
I
look.
mean, I don't know what you're asking.
But let's look at this a different way. Potentially, could it be just like now that Kamala's husband? Help me, Leo. Her name?
Help you with who?
Kamala.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. Her husband is now going to be in the back, standing in the back. Could it be that the governor's husband is not wanting to be a participant in these particular, because that's really a publicity shot. Michelle?
It is a publicity shot, but if you were trying to encourage people to do as you do, I say the visual for me, because you are a married woman, is bring the entire family. Now, for Kamala, they had an interview, I don't know if it was with Oprah or somebody or CNN. Her husband said he's not comfortable public speaking, and he's happy to be in the background and to support his wife. So with him making that statement, you don't expect to see him much. But the governor's husband
go ahead.
is a man's man and says, I can do what I want. That's why he got in trouble. And so I expect him to follow suit to support his wife in his effort so that you can get the men as well interested in getting a shot.
Leo, you were trying to say something?
No, I was saying, if the man won't take the shot, then he's putting his family in danger. And that's why we're doing so well in California. People are taking the shots, but the disease says, okay, if you don't make me welcome here in California, I'll just go where the door is open. And so they're heading down to Texas now, because Texas and Florida, it's got the door wide open to the disease. And so what we have to do in California is stop fools from Texas and California from coming here. From Texas and Florida from coming here.
Well,
and so it's the same thing with your governor. She gonna sleep in the bed with a man who wouldn't take the shot?
let's not say he has his privacy.
Did he take the shot?
I don't know.
Well,
but
you need to ask his wife to make sure that he does, because Michelle says she don't see him doing that, and he would be helping to support not only his wife, who's trying to run the state, but he would help the state if he would show a little leadership with his wife.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now, here I go. Here I go. I heard that. And family, the number that's open, 313-868-0351. And I know from the conversations and the texts that I have received that folks enjoy the conversation because we're not just on here just having a social conversation. The men that are married to the ladies who are the leaders generally will stay in the background.
Like
will
the
stay
women used to. Like the women did when their husband was in the leadership.
Exactly. So I feel that if my wife or if my girlfriend or if my significant other was in that position, I don't want to be up there skinning and grinning just because I'm a man.
No, that's not what I'm saying. This is a pandemic, and this is different from all of that. You'll never have to see him again. They're launching this major campaign, so it's all boots on the ground. That's all I'm saying.
Leo?
Well, I can agree with that. Again, if the man is taking the shot, but he's private and says, "Hey, I don't want my business or whatever out in the street," but his wife is saying, "I am trying to lead, honey, and I need your support because I got some people out there that want to see that everybody is on board, and I want everybody in the state to get on board. So it don't make sense for them to have to sit around wondering about why you haven't come on board."
Right.
I guess I better
it's
step.
It's bad for me, so I need your support.
The
same way a man would ask his wife to support him because the wife was not elected to lead. The husband was elected to lead. In this case, the woman has been elected to lead, and her husband ought to be supportive.
Okay, I tell you what, we'll take this up after the commercial break because, again, this is about the fact that, folks, this is a woman's world now. This is not a man's world, like James Brown said, but he said without a woman, there would not be anything. And now the women are stepping out front. And we have to look at how the women were subjected to being pushed to the background when they were in that number 2 position. They, of course, had some publicity, but they were not in all of the, if we got to move forward, I got to have my wife there with me. Now, what I'm doing is giving you another chain of thought. I know that we want to have that perfect couple, the man and the woman, or the woman and the man, or potentially another different combination as we're moving forward in our life. But we want to see the couple. But we'll talk about that and other things after the commercial break. Remember, this is the Talk Beat Jones. I am Billy Jones, and again, we're on every Wednesday from 10 to 11, and we certainly appreciate you sharing, liking the program, and of course, any conversation that you have, we invite you to call on the Talk Beat Jones. We'll be right back after these commercial announcements.
African Ease. We have an array of products to assist you in all your beauty or body needs. Do you want curly, soft, beautiful hair? Well, try our Relaxer line, designed to leave your hair soft, silky, and full of body. Or would you like beautiful, straight, shiny, long-lasting hair? Well, try our Cherry or Extreme Hold Spritz with our Cream Shine. It's guaranteed to give you that look you want. How about dry, achy feet or legs that you can't seem to keep moisturized? Well, try our African Shea Butter Foot Lotion. We have many products to help you with all phases of your beauty and body needs. For a full list of all our products, please visit our website at www.aeasysilk.com or call us at 313-277-2319.
Hi, this is LaWanda.
This is RJ Watkins.
Coming to you to bring you some information about the #1 detox in the nation, Lemon Burn. Lemon Burn helps to turn the fat into fit. It's for you, a happier, healthier you, because you know healthy is the new beautiful. An all-natural way to improve your health. It promotes a healthy digestive system, attacks and reduces belly fat, as well as gives you energy. Need to get yours today. Call 313-868-6612.
Don't forget to exercise and eat right.
Watch WHPR and TV 33 when you want, where you want, how you want. WHPR is now in your pocket. Download our free app by going to the App Store or Google Play and enter WHPR TV in the search engine. And there we are. You can download WHPR TV or radio. You heard about it. Now come be a part of it. Roku Detroit Worldwide. Approximately 8 million viewers. We at Watkins Broadcasting care about the health and safety of our viewers and listeners. During this novel coronavirus pandemic, please protect yourself and others. Wash your hands well and often. Avoid touching your face. Cough and sneeze into your sleeve. Practice social distancing. Stay at least 6 feet away from others when in public and only leave the house when it's essential. Stay safe. You are important to us.
You wouldn't have to go anywhere because this is the Talk Beat Jones and We're back right now. This is the Talk Beat Jones again. I am Billy Jones, and I'm just really delighted. Got a call in between time. Encouragement. And asked me a question. So let me take the question and make a switch over here real quickly. We're talking about politics. We're going to switch the politics to Detroit. And we're not asking for anything defined, just a little overview. Let me start off quickly with Mr. Leo to get an understanding. Leo?
Yes, sir.
When you were running for council person, what is it that you tried to do to make the folks decide that they want to make Leo Bazile their council person?
Well, the main thing that I was pushing for was what we were all pushing for. We wanted a seat at the table for the community. And so therefore I established myself as a person from the community. I am your son. I am the son that you are trying to raise in your community to be somebody. So here's who I am at this point in my life.
Yes.
I am your son who grew up and went to school here in the Oakland Public Schools, went on to Merritt College, went on to Stanford University, went on to UC Berkeley Law School. That's what you want for your son. That's what I've done. So I have been where you've been, and I am still where you are. And therefore, I am you, and you are me. So elect me, and we shall be free.
And what I loved about you, Mr. Leo Bazile, again, was that you always presented yourself professionally, but you always had an edge to let the people know, don't push me too far. I mean, not a bad edge, an edge that says, I can handle this and I will handle this. And that's why, to me, we wanted to get behind you, because you had that something special that as black folks we could, look at with pride. So I want to thank you for giving us that imagery. Michelle. Go ahead, sir.
I want to thank the people for giving me that opportunity. Everything that I did and accomplished in my life was all because of people pushing me and opening doors for me. So it wasn't me that was the catalyst. It was the people that were helping that were the catalyst.
And speaking of people that's helping you, maybe
my way of giving back was all I was doing, giving back for what they gave me.
And let me do it real quickly, family. Mr. Leo Bazile is with the Talk Beat Jones, and I feel that this man is a treasure. He can give us information from the inside perspectives, and we're going to be talking more about the Black Panthers and et cetera, to get more insight. But right now, I want to go to Michelle and ask the question. Michelle, did the folks who are running, and I'm not asking for a dissertation or a pro or con, but I understand we have a person who was a newspaper person, or not a newspaper person, a television reporter.
He's a reporter, investigative reporter.
And we also have a person who was, I'm not sure how the judge seen it, if he was a judge, still a judge, is still on the court bench or what, but his son went on, and I'm talking about Virgil Smith. Judge. Okay. We have a reporter and an ex-judge. Can you give us a little understanding, because we talk about name recognition? Does M.L. Elrich have name recognition that's popular to the people?
Short answer, yes, he does. Just like Charles Pugh did, who was also from the same station.
Hold up. Now, real quickly, do a little quick aside and tell the people. You say Charles Pugh again. I got folks around the world, around the state, don't know who Charles Pugh is. So quickly, he was the president of the.
He made national news, but Charles Pugh was a TV anchor. He was a news writer. He was a news reporter on Fox Channel, and so Elric, I believe he's on Fox, right, or was. The thing is, you should look at it long term. When I worked for City Council for Councilman Clyde Cleveland, there were not many blacks on the City Council. Now, present
hold up. Did you say you worked for Clyde Cleveland?
Yes, I did.
Hold on. Uh-oh. You mean the legendary Clyde Cleveland?
D1.
Oh, that's another feather.
And he sounds just like our co-host over there. Clyde Cleveland was a social worker. He was a teacher. And then the people put him in on City Council to represent the people.
Okay.
And I think throughout his career, he did a good job at that.
Okay. Oh, he's a legend.
Okay.
Yes, go ahead.
So going forward, present day, council is 98% black. So now it's going to be a slow roll. You're going to put M.L. Elric in that seat. We don't know what he knows other than he's a reporter. He writes and he talks about what's read for him or what he investigated, but his name will give him a big push. And people don't do their research. They're going to put him on and people like him on, and council's going to revert back to the way it was when I first was working down there.
And how was that?
It won't represent the blacks more than it should. It will turn slowly. If you watch it, it's going to be an all-white council downtown, like our white mayor. In the city, I believe, is still 99.9 black. If it's not, it's more than not.
Okay. But you have Judge Virgil Smith is also speaking of potentially running in that race. And
right.
Family, let me do this. Family, we're talking about the at-large seat, which means that everybody in the city of Detroit can vote in this particular race for the candidate. And so we have that seat was presently held by Councilperson Andre Spivey. No. This is the 4th district where Andre Spivey is the councilperson.
Right.
Okay. Got that right.
Right.
Now, so do you think that because of the strength of the name of Judge Virgil Smith that he may be able to have a strong campaign?
Yes, he's going to have to work hard because, as you see now, the media, M.L. Elric got free. He didn't pay for that.
I know.
He did his announcement. He didn't pay for that. Look, this is a news story. So he's going to get free advertising, where if it was Michelle Broden running, I have to pay for TV time. And Virgil Smith will probably have to pay for TV time. If you watch the media, you'll see it.
Okay.
But his name alone will give him the boost that a regular person, John Johnson, wouldn't have available at his campaign.
He also has the advantage of having a friendship, a companionship, a brothership with the people. All the media. Thank you. All of the media is
all
there.
Of it.
And if there's any slide way that they can help him on the air, they do that.
They will.
They do that, yes. Okay. last question for you for today. Mr. Leo Brazil,
Yes, sir.
I want to know if we are in a situation with this variant situation with the COVID-19. They have all these different variations coming out now, variants coming out. To take the injection, to take the shots in the arm, gives you what type of protection against that particular variant?
Well, let's say you got 5 things in the disease,
Mm-hmm.
and that 5 things, you now know what they are, and you know how to counteract those 5 things. All of a sudden, a variant comes along, meaning that it's got 6 things in it. So now you got to figure out a way to attack that 6th thing, and whether or not the 5 thing vaccination is able to deal with those 5 things while you are now trying to deal with the 6th thing. And if the 6th thing is conquered, then you can put together a new vaccine that will take care of everything. But if the 5 thing vaccine will not allow the 6th thing to kill you, then you got time to work on getting everybody a full vaccination with the 6 things in it. So we now know that the vaccines are doing a great job of stopping people from dying.
Thank you.
But it still might make you sick. The disease might make you sick, but at least you don't have to go on the ventilator and be dying.
And how some of the serious complications they talk about. But
Well, we don't know about the complications yet because this is all first instance stuff, and so we got to wait a while to see what's going to emerge out of all of this.
well, they've said that they found about folks who've had the injections. Okay, Michelle,
Yes.
you can give us a first-hand perspective because you have someone that's a medical doctor in your family, correct?
Yes, I do. My daughter.
What is the family situation talks about that at the home?
She's just wanting everybody to get the information that they need to so they can get vaccinated. They need to talk to their own physical doctors if that's what's going to help them, and then they need to get the vaccination. She said it's better to have than not. So that's my daughter's word to the public and the family and other cousins, is that make sure that you are able and healthy enough, and if you are, because everybody may not be, but they need to talk to their personal doctor and then get a plan going and get vaccinated.
And let's go with one quick statement that Michigan right now is leading the nation with the COVID situation. I could be incorrect. Am I correct or incorrect on that, Michelle?
You're correct, and they said because some families are traveling and going on vacations and coming back, and yeah, so you are correct. We're one of the ones at the top.
And I know that we have positions and jobs that we love, and we would just do nothing. We just want to just do that particular type of work. However, what happens when we are on a stage of exhaustion and we never ever can see where we're going to be able to get some rest? What happens to that person who loved their job? Michelle?
They kind of burn out, don't they?
No, I'm asking you to elaborate a little further.
It's exhausting. They can get sick. They can become depressed, and they might give up. But you have to see the light at the end of the tunnel. I mean, that's a part of the message, too. If you have to keep your mask on, keep it on, stay home, because there is an end. We don't know when it's going to end. They say 2024? But you have to be vigilant, and you can't give up.
You can't give up. Okay. Sir, is there any thinking that you want to leave us with before we talk about anything else?
Are you talking to me?
Yes, Mr. Leo Bazil.
Yes. I'm just wondering, as an old Air Force military veteran, why is America so soft? I mean, boy, we're a bunch of wimps. It seems to me we are in a global war, and America always prided itself as being the champions or whatever. Well, let's be champions now. Let's fight. And the fight is not to go out and get your gun and go out to the street. The fight is sit on your couch and stay in your
That's
house.
right.
What's so hard about that? Oh, well, I'm bored. Well, you're spoiled. This is war. This is a global war.
Yes.
All of mankind is being attacked by this thing, and here we are sitting around talking about I can't go to the Detroit Lions. I mean, the Detroit Tiger football game. I mean, baseball game.
Baseball, you're right. So they don't want to live to see
Okay.
the next game, do they?
Okay. Speaking of the games, what about the teams that have opened up their season and they're opening up the stadium?
We'll start
I'm not
seeing
gonna
people
go.
die
No,
there.
we're talking about they've opened up the total stadium.
Fine. Let's find out how many of them at the stadium went there and got COVID.
Okay, but is this, we're talking about these surges. Let's go back some time. We're talking about these surges now that's going on. How long ago was it that we saw all of these particular large gatherings with no mask, with no protection, with no particular caring about how much distance was between them? How many across the United States during this election, or not election, but this last time, we've constantly seen folks in masses being defiant. And now we're having all of this stuff coming back, because remember, just because you attended don't mean that right then you're going to show the signs or come down with it right then. It takes a little while. It takes a little while. And now we're seeing, they talk about the herd immunity. Now we're seeing the herd coming to need these injections. So we have this problem about, and I'll say this for myself. My telephone number is 313-412-3111. If there is anyone out there that can call me and tell me where I can get an injection of COVID right now, when I get off the air, I'm listening for a call. 313-412-3111. I don't want to stand in a long line. I don't want to sit in my car a long time. Can you help a brother out? I mean, there's different. So what do you think about that, Michelle?
You just missed it, because last week some people didn't show up, and they were asking people, begging people to come down to the Ford Field, because those they didn't want to throw away the vaccinations. They didn't want them to spoil or expire.
Okay. Time? Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to expire with this. You want to say your last minute goodbyes?
Stay safe, family, and I will see you next Wednesday.
Okay. And Leo, how about you?
Same thing for me. God bless. See you next week if God willing and the creek don't rise.
All right. And
That's it.
and I am Billy Jones. And again, we want to thank you for being with us. Remember, family, share the program, like the program. And again, we'll be back Wednesday. But if you have conversation and you want it to go around the world, and you want folks to sit back and listen like they do with the Talk B. Jones and take it in, you too will be a part of the Talk B. Jones. I am Billy Jones every Wednesday from 10 to 11. Love you. Thank you. Goodbye now. You wouldn't have to go anywhere, because this is the Talk B. Jones, and